you, and welcome to another episode of Advancing the Cause. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I find it very, very exciting when I'm here to advance the cause because I love I love the comments we have in the comment section. I am happy when my friends like Kevin, Lorimo, and the others, they could be watching me. I'm happy. I feel good. I feel good when we have, as my good friend Sherrod would say, when we have all of those jagabats here with us. When they're here with us, they make our lives so happy. And we are happy when they join because they learn. And so some of the foolishness they go around the place with, they are transformed when they join advancing the cause. And so tonight we are going to be talking a little about what's happening, like we've been talking about what's happening here. But tonight we're going to stress a little more on this topic that we have tonight, which says sugar ain't sweet anymore. I mean, in Guyana, we're producing sugar, and it seems as if sugar is not sweet anymore. Sugar was sweet a while ago. Now sugar ain't sweet. Um, I'm so excited. Like I said to you, I'm so excited when I get here that sometimes I don't even remember exactly what I want to start with. But I'm going to start by sending out happy birthday greetings to all of those persons who would have celebrated their birthdays. We've had 97. I saw 97. I heard 92. I've gotten 82. Somebody sent me and asked to send out greetings to their mother, who is 75 years old. I can't remember the names, but I want to say happy birthday to all of those persons who celebrated their birthdays during the week, starting last Wednesday and today, all the way to today. Happy birthday to you. And I trust that as you move into this new chapter of your life, that you are going to be fully protected and you're going to be endowed with wisdom. Do enjoy. It's a whole year you have to enjoy. And then we have some persons who've lost loved ones. I just noticed that we have a Guyanese young man who drowned in Bahamas, and I want to send out condolences to that family. It's not easy to lose a loved one, and we've had so many of our citizens losing loved ones from last week to now. As a matter of fact, we've had some very tragic accidents happening. And we want to again, outside of sending our condolences to you and praying that God will give you the kind of strength you need to deal with the issue right now, we want to again caution our road users. You've got to be serious when you're on this road. You've got to be careful when you're on this road. And since I'm there, I want to send out some cautioning to the extended acting commissioner of police. The commissioner of police would have had his tenure extended, the acting commissioner of police. Come on, sir, your men, they've got to do work on this road. We need more than what you're doing. Come on. Yes, Roderick Henry from the US, we're sending out good night to you, good night to you. And yes, the Commissioner of Police acting, Mr. Robeson Ben, I am going to have to call for you to go because you're not doing what we're supposed to have you doing. It's not for you to come and throw down yourself on the road anymore and talk about all kind of nonsense. Come out and do what is supposed to do. Paint those pedestrians crossing. Schools just reopened. 2 little boys were almost hit down yesterday. 2. Paint those pedestrian crossing. You and get your president to come out too, Mr. Irfan Ali. Y'all come out and paint pedestrian crossing because y'all didn't get anything else to do. I mean, it's disgusting the way things are happening in this country. Too many lives are being lost in this country. Too many. And I don't know what happened, because if operator could pull up this one, if the police themselves are doing foolishness on the road, then you could imagine what our regular citizens will do on the road. If the police doing nonsense on the road, then you could imagine, look, taxpayers' monies, taxpayers' monies. Every 2 minutes, a police vehicle is crashed. Every 2 minutes, taxpayers' money is paid for that and will continue to pay for that. And these police officers, you see them, especially when you're driving down the road, going into to West Coast, Berbice, and all of those places, they're hiding behind trees and just waiting to push their guns out at you. Nonsense. Waiting to push their guns out at you, hiding behind trees. If you're going to control the traffic ranks, then you need to be on the road. Don't push your guns out at people from behind trees and behind bus sheds or in bus sheds. That's not where you're supposed to be. This kind of nonsense got to stop. And you know why they're doing this? Because when they stop you and tell you, oh, you're over the speed limit and all kinds of foolishness, you know, people are saying that some of these machines, they're set. And so when they want a race from you, that they hide themselves in some of these desolate areas. Stop the nonsense, go out on the streets and make sure that the people who use the streets, that they are using it properly. Too many of our lives are being lost. Too many lives are being lost. So the police crash up the car there. You know, it fought in a trench. In the trench, he gone. So if the police are not being considerate and careful and cautious on the road, then you know what? We'll have more of what we've been having. Yesterday, you know what happened yesterday? A young man yesterday lost his life senselessly, you know. Senselessly, a young man lost his life. That could have been avoided. But you know what? We have some of these guys who, when they're riding these bikes, they feel as if they're supermen. And so they're riding there. Well, you don't ride, you drive. They say you drive. In the middle of the road. In the middle of the road they are. And then you see them bobbing and weaving in between the traffic, sometimes without helmets. Traffic police, that's your job. That's what you got to stand there to do. Don't wait there to hold on to stop people when people don't notice anything. I mean, I'm not advocating that persons should speed down the road, but I'm saying traffic police should be out there to man what is happening. If you're there and you're seen, then people wouldn't be speeding. So do what you have to do. And I'm saying, you know, if we look at the amount of persons that have lost their lives via road accident for the month of August, or let's say between July and today's date, is way past what we've been having. I don't know. And so I'm seeing one of my friend Joy Beckles saying the Guyana police force is the worst in the Caribbean region. Well, I wouldn't want to say all of them, but we know the crooked ones that they got. Crazy. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong. And then outside of people speeding down the road, outside of the police ducking in and hiding in bus sheds and so on, every minute is some car. When it's not an Allion, is a Premio, is some Mark X, is some this, is some RAV4, is some that. All of them got sirens. And all of them in a hurry. Always in a hurry. Come on. What are we doing really? I have taken notice any and everybody got sirens on their vehicles. Just about any and everybody. Minister got sirens on their vehicle. Minister's son got siren on his vehicle. Minister daughter, minister mother, everybody who using vehicle got sirens on these vehicles. And they are always in a hurry. Just this evening, I'm coming down the road, and a police vehicle. I didn't have the opportunity to snap the picture because I was in traffic. The traffic is flowing on Sheriff Street, and of course, you know, once you're flowing at a certain time on Sheriff Street, the traffic is going. He ain't got no time to wait. No siren on, and so he's just flowing straight through the middle. So everybody got to be pulling in the corner. What nonsense y'all behaving with? Who teaching these people to drive? No wonder we got so much madness on the road, because I'm figuring some of the people who are receiving license to drive along the road, they don't pass through any driving classes. They probably don't even write the exams, or maybe they go just write the exams. Whether they fail or they pass, they collect a license. Nonsense. It got to stop. Guyana has become too lawless, and we must stop this nonsense. Too many lives are being lost. Every day. Oh, man. Ropes and bend, you don't feel, you don't read, you don't see what's happening. Yes, like my friend Mr. Aziz is saying, the license selling wild, 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 wild license selling. We got to do something about this. And you always accuse everybody else of what they're doing. But when you're in there, you don't want anybody to talk. You don't even want people to talk about what you're doing. So y'all fix the business. Fix it, Robeson Ben. Fix it. Clifton Hickens, fix it. Get your men and your women, and y'all fix it. Come out in the mornings. Send them out in the mornings to stop in front of schools where you have heavy traffic so that they can assist the students and the pupils to cross the roads. Fix it. Don't come here and make yourselves. Everywhere is a set of lawlessness. Everywhere is a set of lawlessness. You go to the passport office, it's long, 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 long lines. We've returned to the days of long lines. And you know, these were the same people who talk about, oh, the PNC and Burnham had people lining up for rice flour. Now you got to line up when you go to GRA. You got to line up when you go to NIS. You got to line up when you go to the passport office. Everywhere is a line. Every single where is a line. We are really doing it all. We are really doing it all. Incompetence to the highest. Incompetence. And I agree, you know, some of them have lost their ways. But we're gonna talk a little more into that. Well, let me extend best wishes, of course, to our teachers who have returned to school just Monday last. On the 4th of September, teachers returned to school for a new academic year. You know, this girl, Priya, she said one time that I am what? I'm obsessed with her. I don't know what about her I'm going to be obsessed with. But I'm obsessed with the nonsense that you're doing. That's what I'm obsessed with. The nonsense that you're doing. 2 months of August vacation. And yet when teachers and their students return to school, teachers and their learners return to school on Monday, some could not go in this school because the school ain't ready. Some turn up at school and construction work happening at their schools. Amelia's Ward Primary, Harmony Secondary, and those two are in Region 10. They return to school and all kinds of madness happening there. Come on. You want the children to be there when they got hammering and shoving and all kinds of things happening there. They're doing masonry work and all kind of mason work and that kind of thing happening there. Priya, what's wrong with you? What exactly is wrong with you? If you're not ready, you're not ready. Outside of that, an operator, could you just show let the viewers see the pictures there with all these schools that ain't ready. You turn up at school Monday morning. Look this first one. I went to some schools during the holidays. I visited some schools. You know what we got for part of classes? Screens made out of condemned table tennis table. Yes. We got screens made out of desk. Yes. Parting off classes. Outside of that, we got hot classrooms. Priya, you and your officers take some of those monies that you got from that supplementary budget, buy some fans and put in them schools, because yesterday and on Monday, I visited several schools in South Georgetown and in East Georgetown. And the school's hot like fire. You see this school here? Early Monday morning, look how many tents, look how many tanks in front there. They can't fix them yet. They can't fix them yet. And you know why these things are happening? Oh, yes, I'm seeing a viewer here telling me about Yarra Cabra Secondary. It ain't open yet because it ain't ready. And y'all had 2 months, you know. You had 2 months. But just back to this school. This school has reopened. 2, 4, 6, 8 water tanks in front there. And the same school, they're not getting water in certain sections of the schools. Priya, fix it right. Get it right. And I will continue to talk about what you're doing, because as a teacher, I understand how this feels. Everybody turn up in school and you got big water tanks. Outside of the water tanks, you got a whole lot of garbage there. Workmen were working and all the trash is left right there. Who y'all leaving there to pick up the children? The teachers? The guards? The cleaners? Y'all fix it right, man. Fix it right. Every 2 minutes is a nonsense with Priya. When it's not the schools and fixed right, operator, we can slide those pictures. Look the garbage. Look the garbage. Look. And 2 months vacation, look the garbage. And they had plenty more than that. Other schools, a whole lot of garbage. Well, the city is a garbage city, so maybe because the schools are within the city, so they are part and parcel, or they ought to be part and parcel of the garbage. Let's roll with the picture. So this is another school that I visited. Just this building was recently, this wing was recently done. And here it is at the school. This is what is happening to the step here. The concrete step, the one side breaking away. Operator, if you can pull this up a little so we can see if you can, yes, this is what is happening there. This part of the stairway breaking away. And you know what the contractors did after they had teacher and so on reported that? The contractor decided that he was going to put a beam just under that part there. So they had one at the top and then they put one just in the middle. So just in case maybe they're looking at a seesaw or something. I don't know. But like they're setting trap for children. Y'all already killed 20th Madia. We ain't want any more in the city. We want none in Georgetown. So y'all go and fix it. Look the zinc. Look. This is the zinc there. That zinc there is zinc that take a mixed screen to divide classes. I mean, what kind of worthlessness is this? In this oil-rich country, what kind of worthlessness is this? Huh? What kind of worthlessness is this? And over, we haven't, from the budget last year, we had 2 other supplementaries. And look what we get in. And this is a secondary school. This is a secondary school. So I want people to understand that when we speak here, we don't speak idle talks. We got the pictures to show you. We got the pictures to show you. And you know why this is happening? Because they've been repeating it over and over and over from 2020 to now. All kinds of madness happening in our schools, in the workplaces for public servants, all over. You see the zinc? The zinc, that's the zinc there. It's disgusting. Very, very, very disgusting. Very disgusting. Those are the furniture that we have our secondary school, grade 8 and 9 and so on. Those are the furniture they're sitting in. But I'm not sure if we have the photograph with, we just passed the police car. Look, cupboard, man, in the 21st century, oil-rich country. Oil-rich country, look the cupboard. The teachers got to store textbooks and so on in. These people ain't got no shame. Look, classroom again. And this is an auditorium, This is an auditorium with about 8 or 9 classes there. These people ain't got no shame. Priya ain't got no shame. None whatsoever. And operator just show us the one that, yes, that's a classroom. That's one of the classrooms there. Show us the picture that you were going to show us there. We want to talk about Bamia, the school at Bamia. I don't know when they're going to finish building it. I am sure when. Look. This is all you're seeing for the longest while. That's all we're seeing. That's all we can see. I wonder who will answer. Who will be made to pay? Who would be blacklisted? If friends and families, they give that to, friends and families, they give that to. Y'all is shame, man. Oh, look how long you had, this school here has caused me to remember the Cemetery Road. Cemetery Road, supernatural powers, maybe supernatural powers preventing the contractors here from finishing this building. I think we have about 3 more shots with it so that the viewers can see exactly what is happening there. It's disgusting. Very, very disgusting. Very disgusting, the issue. This school that they're supposed to have there, that they call Bamia. At Bamia, the school that and big talks, big talks, shameless people. But we're going to take we're before we take the other slides. Yes, that's the old fancy thing, Bamia. If you see how quick they put up those, just how fast the start is, just how fast the ending. But we're going to bring on our guest. Our guest this evening is Comrade Ramjatan, Honorable Ramjatan, Comrade Ramjatan. He's also the leader of the AFC. Quite a distinguished young man. Under his stewardship at the Ministry of what they call now Home Affairs, Public Security it was then, where the public could have come in and talk to the minister, talk to staff, and get things fixed. But now is a whole long story. So we're going to bring on Comrade Ramjatan so we can have a little discussion on this whole thing here. Because I'm sure, Comrade Ramjatan, good night and welcome to Advancing the Cause. I know you're always there to bring clarity to issues. I was just talking about the police and them crashing vehicles and Ben and them not doing anything. The police again hiding in bus sheds and behind trees. And when you come in, they push out their guns at you. The police again in all kinds of nonsense. And then we got sugar that ain't sweet anymore. Welcome to Advancing the Cause. Tell me what you think about what's happening in this country.
Well, I have been speaking about it all across the country. Thanks very much, Coretta, advancing the cause here. These programs are very much needed and vital for people your viewership to understand what is happening. And secondly, also for the communication so that the issues could be understood. Look, in relation to crime and the police force, I am ashamed as to the developments that are occurring in that sector. As I have indicated in an earlier program, the tremendous amount of surveys and recommendations that were done during that period of the coalition government, consequent upon the British security sector reform process, whereby an expert from Scotland Yard had come in. I think it is the Metropolitan Police Force, they now call it, who had come in and has done a whole set of studies for the professionalization of the police force, for the creation of strategic management units, for the creation of an aviation and a maritime department and all of that, but also human resource being better developed by virtue of training, manuals, and a whole set of other things to enhance even the academy and so. And all of that now, surveys have been there, recommendations and reports have been there, done by other professionals that he also had recommended, like the Sicklington guy to enhance SOCU and so on. I understand all have now been shelved and have come to zero, just like the British High Commissioner had indicated that he does not want to see happen. Now, we had indicated that, look, we are going to ensure that all these recommendations are implemented. Rogue elements within the police force, because we had very many. And during my term, about 6 to 9 of them were knocked off. And had to go because they did serious things. There were some more. But as I have said so many times, the next morning after you knock them a couple of them off, the wife bring in 6, 7 at the picnic and say, Mr. Ramjatan, they go starve now. And I had to plead with the commissioner to, just hold on with them. They said they're going to change and all of that. It's difficult. It's very difficult. But a number of rogue elements who did very egregious things, we knock them out because you don't want them in the force. So all of that now, because you have a leadership in the ministry now that is half scald. I don't know if they know what they're doing. And so all these things are going to now create problems in the police force to the extent that the professionalism that we were incrementally developing is now going to go to zero and gone back. It's very easy to slide professionalism within an enforcement agency like the police force. And so I am saddened about the situation. We are hearing that crime statistics now are showing that crime is reducing. Well, that's a lot of trash. A lot of people don't believe that anymore. So many murders every day open the paper. So many causing death by dangerous driving. So many deaths of young people in our roadways and a whole host of other things. So many fires, some of them deliberately started. And then, of course, the large amount of thefts and larcenies and robberies of all varieties. And that is why a lot of people are going away from this country. I went a couple morning ago in front of the American embassy because I had I had to pass through by the hospital there, just around the hospital. So I said, let me take a drive through and so on. And if you see the amount of people lining up for visas,
Yes.
you go to the passport office, all of a sudden, them lines long, and all kind of thing. And those things were reduced drastically. So it is also an indicia of what is happening in our country. People want to get out. And now we are supposed to be growing at a rate of 35%. But growth does not necessarily mean happiness.
That's true.
Growth is for the contractor fellas who then giving kickbacks, building roads, bridges, all kind of thing, and the people starving. And it's a shame. And in relation to the sugar workers too, we can see base supporters of the PPP government cussing them down. These fellas are suffering, and especially at this school time. And what we saw is that they were asking for a financial package. They even left Kanji and came to Georgetown to beg KAU, their union,
Yes.
open the gates for them. Imagine that. Every time they got to pay, when they get his wages, what is deducted is their agency, what you call the union dues.
The union Jews.
Yeah, right? And these people came here to ask the Sipal Narayan and all the big jabat that you got there in GAU headquarters and next to the Court of Appeal building. You know, none of them in turnout to meet their own people who are members, not a single. Three times they attempted to go into that building. I was there that morning. None of the senior leadership of GAU turned up. Then they indicated to me that, you know, they would want to go now to the president because nobody talking to them from the union. They want to talk to the president. These sugar workers are making a claim for at least a financial package. Remember, and let me just bring a little history of the story here. When we had right-sized the sugar industry, we had closed Rose Hall factory and that indicated that workers that will be doing work there will have to be transferred. And those who do not want to be transferred, they will get their severance. Hundreds and hundreds of them didn't want to be transferred and they got their severance and they were paid. A wickedness is coming out from especially Jagdeo Mouth now that we didn't pay the workers severance. They were all paid. And the latter part of 2018, all of them were paid their severance, who wanted severance. Now, they got about 389, I suppose, who had said that they're going to stay on with the industry. And they were transferred to Blaemont, some of them, and some were transferred to Albion. Right? When the PPP came back in government, so they didn't get their severance because they were not severed. And even when the PPP came in, the PPP gave all those who were severed an additional 250,000 Ghana dollars as a bonus. These fellas never got that either. So now, working in Blairmont and working in Albion, they gone rehabilitate, spend plenty money. A black hole, I disagree with their spendings to rehabilitate Rosal, but let's take it for they're now rehabilitating. They want those sugar workers that was transferred to come back to Rosal. So the people say, if you want we back at Rosal now, you gotta pay us a package because we
Yeah.
end up getting two ends of the stick here. We didn't
Yeah.
get the severance, plus we didn't get the $250,000
Nope.
additional bonus that you give all the people that severed. And we punishing just like them people. Why you don't give us a package? GAU initially on the first to the third day of the strike had indicated that they are going to make sure that the people get a package. And then I understand Jagdeo shout them down. I understand that Mr. Finance Minister said he ain't got money for give them. And GAU and all back away because, of course, GAU is very much close to the PPP.
So, Comrade Ramjatan, you're saying that sugar ain't sweet anymore.
Sugar is not sweet anymore. Them a couple hundred people there, they cussing them. They said they're done with them. And of course, they don't have the workforce because all the severed people, they gone, they take buy some minibus, open business. Some of them gone to other areas of the country and so on. They got to rely on these people. Now, these people are simply asking for a package, whatever is the amount that they could work out. Just talk to us. Irfan Ali talk a lot about how he wants to talk. He wants to talk to Norton. Norton could pick up the phone and talk to him. Them sugar workers come from Kanji to Georgetown, and he couldn't pick up a phone or go and meet them like a Chetty Jagan would have done. No.
No, he is too big. As a matter of fact, he running behind the ex-Prime Minister of Britain, Tony Blair. He running behind Tony Blair.
Oh,
And
that day, right. Yeah, he was
yes,
there.
and I'm not sure if the operator has it, but I want you to remind our viewers that Mustafa stood in Parliament just the other day and said, we will revive the sugar estates, we will bring them back on board, we will bring back sugar. You remember that?
I know. I'm well aware of it. And so they spent over $9 billion in their 3 years so far on sugar. $9 billion, if not more. And subsidizing and trying to reopen these estates that are so derelict. They're going to collapse in them, just like what is happening at Skeldon and what happened at Wales. You understand? So these sugar workers now gone and they protest and demonstrating. It's a constitutional right for them to assemble, to show their cause and all of that, to express their opinions on matters and so on. Now the people gone and get the police and beat them up, run them down the road all over the place, and then charge them with not only unlawful assembly, but serious charge of terrorism, striking terror to members of the public, indictable charges. They had to beg the magistrate to get the bail reduced, and then she reduced it to $60,000, all 20 of them. And look, these fellas are hardworking. You could see it in their faces, and if you feel their hand, how tough their hands are. And all of them tell me, all 20 of them that were charged, they tell me, because their wives and so on were at the magistrate's court at New Amsterdam there, they were saying, look, Mr. Ramsey, we don't get money for bail of himself. We gonna have to go beg somebody or some family or ask a bail man, and then you gotta pay interest and all. Because only too recently, a lot of their savings that they had home gone to buy books and this and that for the school children.
Yes.
Because these people had taken the money and given them for the local government elections, and all the money done. So now, just a couple days ago, they gone and they buy the books and clothes and this and that and whatever. They ain't got anything. And they were striking. That was the 20th day they were striking. So they were impoverished by a result of the exercise that they were doing of protesting and demonstrating. And now they get charged. Some of them get beat up. And they all got to pay bail, $60,000. Where they going to get that? You know, I talked to a couple of people to try help them and all that. I don't know what will happen. I haven't gotten back a report. But that is the state of the politics in our country and the economics of it. And even in a base support area of the PPP. If they could treat them like that, and I know all of them must vote for PPP. All of them.
As a matter of fact,
they're now telling you a different,
as a matter of fact, Comrade Ramstan, I heard those same men. You were there with them Wednesday morning. I was there with them Thursday afternoon because I was passing and I saw them out there and I stopped to have a conversation. And they were telling me they didn't even have, their union couldn't even send a bottle of water for them, a large 5-gallon bottle of
That's right.
water.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
in the sun all day. And I mean, these are the same people, see Paul and them, who talk about how much they love the sugar workers. I wonder where is Sharon Das? I wonder where is he? He had loved the sugar workers too. Where is he now? Huh?
Well,
Where is Jagdio? Because I hear Jagdio and the one Anil tell the people, oh, y'all bring in Ramjatan. Y'all see what we can do with y'all. We talking to y'all. We have no monies to give to y'all. But these are the same people who went with them in 2018 and 2019 and were having bottom house meetings with them and telling them how much they love sugar and they love them and they can reopen the sugar estates. Look, I want y'all vote out the government APNU because we can do better for you. What is happening now? Maybe sugar is sweet now, but it gets sweet year end, maybe 2024 coming on to 2025, sugar gets sweet then.
well, knowing the tactics of Barra Jagdeo, especially because he's the mastermind behind it all, he's going to then probably give them a big increase by that time, and then probably another financial package. And that is how he's going to buy the votes. He's going to come to Parliament, either the budget or a financial paper, and then they got the majority support. It is passed, and there you have it. But I rather suspect, talking to a lot of these sugar workers now, that they have seen literally how the maltreatment persists and that how they were lied to, misinformed, and given all kind of fake news, their interest. And let me say this, when we had done a real good state paper on sugar since 2018, and we had carried it to Parliament. We had indicated clearly. I remember Mr. Nagamutu, Noel Holder, and a couple of others spoke on it, that this generation of estate youngsters, they don't want to cut cane.
No.
Cane is back-breaking work. These people now in this digital age, they want to play with their phone, they want to provide services. You think that son, and by the way, today's son, 2023 son, far hotter than any of them son I know about.
Oh,
It's climate change, and it's back-breaking work. And the wives told me that this guy get up 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know how much money a day the man bring in? $2,900. What I can mind picnic, what I can mind bringing food and all kind of thing. And these people just don't want to listen to these workers who saw the continuation of Blairmont and Albion by virtue of transferring there. And so they're entitled to some amount of compensation package now. If you want, bring them back to Rosal now that Rosal has been rehabilitated. Why not? Look, this is a nasty, nasty government. And you can't say you're glad as to how the workers are being treated, but you're glad that the workers are seeing for themselves how
yes.
they're being maltreated and the incentive. There is only just forget their votes. They care nothing about it. We cared about the next generation. We care. That is why we said, look, we got to get them out of sugar. We got to train them. We got to provide alternative livelihoods and so on. And we were proposing, as soon as we got the oil monies, we are going to ensure that these thousands of acres of rice, cane land be converted into specialized crops and the 5 Ps, peppers, papas, and prawns, fishing culture, and so on. Them kind of thing. But they didn't do that. They gone and opened back the sugar estate, and now you have a cut cane, fetch, pond them, and put them in pond. Fetch them and put them in pond. What kind of madness is that? We don't want our people to get out of sugar. And then the cost of production is about 30 cents a pound for the sugar, US cents. And you're selling for about 13 cents US. What kind of business is that? Just because you want the people to be employed? That is why the hard decision, but the right decision was made when we right-sized sugar. We are
But you
not
know,
advancing the cause in that sector at all. As a matter of fact, there's massive regression and there's punishment all across the estate areas. And you take it from me, Coretta. I have been around these places, and plenty of them can get 2 meals a day, 2 square meals to
that is
eat.
true. That is true.
Honestly. And inside of parliament, you get people like the Minister of Finance telling me that where am I going? Like I going to the wrong market when we start calling out the prices of
They like to tell you that. They like to say that.
oil, and they love
Just
to
last
cuss
week,
up.
I was showing Bora for $1,200, a little bundle of Bora for $1,200. And
Yeah.
I don't know where these people shop, but I want our viewers to see what transpired with our sugar workers who were protesting there. And they have a right to protest. And I need to remind persons that when the PNC was in parliament, these same sugar workers, the PPP used to use them to burn the sugar cane, the fields to create confusion. Now today, when the workers are protesting for their rights, you want to lock them up. And I learned that they had chains on their feet
Oh
and all.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, they treat them like as if they're the world's greatest criminals and murderers. Shackle them, with foot shackles, and then they also had they had them handcuffed and throw them inside of the vehicles and all of that.
You
Well, you
know,
gotta treat sugar workers, and you know all of them. You know where they live in. You know their wives.
exactly so. So
And you
you
treat
know,
them
you
the
know
best.
that these men are not criminals. So why are you criminalizing them now? Because they're talking for their rights, or because you feel that they embarrass you? You know, the thing with the PPP is that they cannot accept now that people are getting wiser and
That's
people
right.
are reading and people are understanding the game, that they can no longer trick them. And that
That's
is
right.
the problem. That is their problem, that people
That
are
is
getting
so true.
exposed
And
to
even the sugar workers now, to Coretta,
yes.
are understanding that all of this madness that Jagdeo did at the sugar Skeldon factory,
Oh God.
spending 250 million US dollars, was Jagdeo economics. That was very, very bad economics. You spend 250 million US dollars, we're still paying debt on that sugar factory, and it has literally collapsed. Jagdeo never put any of the European Union monies when in 2004 or thereabouts, they said they're going to give them 11 million euros every year to spend to rehabilitate, right size, and do whatever it is to rationalize production of sugar, close down some estates and so on, and efficientize in other estates. It come up about, for a 10-year period, about 110 million euros. Not a cent was ever put into sugar. And he loves to come and tell people that how in that 5-year period we brought down the sugar industry. The collapse had started a long, long time, and we knew that it was coming because of the special market preferential prices for the European Union had stopped by 2009 or thereabouts. I can't remember the year. But the European Union said, well, look, we had helped you all out. Are we going to continue to help you with this 110 million euros or whatever it was? And they did not. Jack, they gone and put the money in the reserves or some other place, but sugar didn't get it. I remember Gau's man, Komal Chan, used to cuss him up. You got to put the money there. No, he said. He's God. And a lot of them treat him like God these days. But this fella got it all wrong. That sugar factory at Skeldon was the hallmark of the wrong policy of still thinking sugar has a future. It does not have a future. And as I have been mentioning, you got to know the people. They don't want their children to go cut cane. So what will happen to the next generation? Nobody will be there as laborers,
No
and the
one.
mud soil is not good enough for the mechanization. It is not, and the rainy weather and the what you call the unforeseen weather patterns in Guyana now. Them machine getting stuck all over the place. So
It's
I don't
like
know what CS can do there.
I'm seeing one of our callers saying that's voodoo economics. what they
Voodoo,
put in
yes, right.
sugar.
It's voodoo
Voodoo
economics.
economics.
A
But
little
I
piece
just want to play this little clip from the leader of the opposition,
yeah.
where he spoke about a couple of things. I mean, the PPP. I don't know how much more wicked these people could get. I just don't know how much more wicked they could get. It is so crazy. Operator, you're gonna play that for us.
Gonna piss. I'm gonna miss. Let me remind people, he has not one successful project in his life as president. The EU gave to him 32 billion Guyana dollars between 2007 and 2013 to ensure it goes into the sugar industry to diversify and ensure work was found for sugar workers. Ask if he do it. What ain't thief? He put on a dead called Skeldon Sugar Factory. The man is a failure.
Same point.
He told us he is going to do a fiber optic cable for billions, and then we can get connectivity all in the interior. Well, it's some part of his interior, because we ain't seeing it. That was another failed project. He told us, oh, there's going to be this beautiful packaging factory at Enmore, Betogan. The man is a complete failure.
So
Oh, he is nailing the points there. I mean that I remember Mr. Winston Jordan in a real master stroke inside of Parliament talking about the European Union funds and how it was never directed to sugar for all those years. And Jagdeo gone and borrowed monies from the Chinese to go and then construct the Skeldon, 250 million US dollars, and the thing is now collapsed. There's no production going on there. But they got the gall to come and say, is the coalition that stopped production. The thing was not producing anything. We had to subsidize it the first 36 months of the coalition government. Each month we had to give Gaisuko $1 billion, $36 billion. And then is when Mr. Granger asked myself and David Patterson and a couple of others to set up a committee to go and say, well, what then should the future of sugar be? And then we came up with the white paper and the state paper and so on. And we said we got to right size. And we talked to people like Clive Thomas and so on. But no, I even called their finale to a meeting because I was chairman of that group. The president had appointed me chairman, pleading with them, let us get your suggestions. You know what was their fan suggestion to me? Pay the sugar workers, don't knock off any of them, and then spend more money. I said, but the price of you're not making profit anymore. How long could you subsidize this? Plus, we haven't given the teachers and the nurses and the policemen and the GDF and all of that any increases. We just taking the money away. If you say only sugar workers must get monies, and then out of the treasury, sugar was supposed to bring in money into the treasury.
exactly, bring money into the treasury.
Now you take $36 billion and you're still telling me that is what we got to do? So their voodoo economics continue now when they spend another $9 billion
Others, yes.
yeah, on rehabilitating sugar factories like Rosal. And now you're not going to get the workers to go there. So when the cane growing in the land, who go and cut it? And then you don't know about the unforeseen weather patterns in this.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, this monoculture too. Lots of fertilizers, and that got so much a theft of fertilizers. I hear one set of the workers and so on, some of the officials inside there thieving the fertilizer and selling it to rice farmers.
And selling it to rice. Well, you know the operation. And
Yeah.
then the thing is, they are not coming out to say to the people who are still cutting cane and who they're still encouraging to come on board because they're going to reopen these sugar estates. They're not saying the right things to the people, and they're not encouraging the people to go into other areas.
Exactly.
Because they don't want the people to be literate. They want them to continue to be illiterate so that they can teach them, tell them what they want. They don't want the sugar estate workers to come and buy smartphones and so. They want them to go and wake up early morning. They're gone in the cane field. By the time they come back out, they're tired. They want sleep. They can't watch no news, so they know nothing more going on. That is Jagbio's mentality. The same Jagbio has the mentality of the colonialist who had us in slavery. That's the kind of mentality that they have. And they want to keep people there. But people bright now. People seeing straight through them. And that is
Absolutely.
why they have to use now, oh, are you listening to Ramjatan? Oh, are you listening to McDonald? Oh, are you listening to this person? They're getting scared when we're engaging those people because they understand that we will tell the people the right things.
Look, Coretta, a lot of things takes repetition. We were telling the sugar workers this for years. I remember when I started the Alliance for Change in 2006 time, very early, 2005, 2006, 7. All them time we were telling them. As a matter of fact, a number of the sugar workers were base supporters of AFC. But they said, no, we got to do this and do that and so on. Now the world is changing so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of hard work and backbreaking work, they don't want to do anymore. And we had foreseen that a long, long time. I remember even this chap Ravi Dev used to talk about it too. That, you can't get these East Indians, on behalf of East Indians, you can't get them slaving like that, doing hard work like that. We got to move away from it. And we had indicated that as a result of the oil monies, and that was one of the reasons too, because we were taking sugar money, giving money from the treasury to sugar. And now that when we sign up that agreement, we knew that oil monies are going to come. And with that oil money, we can start retraining all them, I don't know, it's about 16, 17,000 workers. And at least portion by portion, doing better livelihood. We had started at Wales Estate. We had started it there. And it continues. But they don't want that to happen. They want now to rehabilitate Rosal. They're going to end up in very, very unprofitable scenario. And they reduced plenty of their targets. And they're not even meeting the reduced targets. So bad is sugar doing. And they still want to pour money, and they don't want to give people a kind of a survival kit in the form of some financial assistance. So we are in for some bad times. Sugar workers are in for some bad times. The non-oil sector will be doing very, very badly, as was prophesied, as was also recorded in the first half-year report. And I think they're supposed to come out with a half-year report by now. They ain't come out with it yet for this year. So we are not doing well at all. Non-oil, that is.
Well,
And when you see that happening, we're going to have children going to school. They're not going to get a meal inside of their bags. Plenty of them might not go to school. And it is important for people like yourself and the unionists in your trade union to check on how many school children not going to school. Let the teachers tell earlier. Because I understand that plenty of them not sending their kids to school anymore because they can't afford it.
They can't afford it. That's true. And you see, the thing is, Priya tried to bribe the parents with releasing the $40,000 cash grant the week before school
The
elections, which
Local
was in
government.
June. It never happened before. In June, and the people you had 2 months vacation. Now, if people starving, what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna take the money and go buy school clothes, or they're gonna buy food to put on their tables?
They will buy the necessities, and that is what is bad about their economics. It was
Voodoo
seen
economics,
clearly
man.
as buying the votes for
Yes.
the local government election.
Voodoo economics, but the voodoo economics backfired on them because
That's right.
here it is. You had again. Let me go back to the boulevard there in Pontrench. Big boulevard. You had big walkthrough. By 2 days after, the tables that they make hurry up with cheap labor break. Parts of the road, all kinds of madness happening. So these people are all about a show. all about a show and nothing to sustain that. Absolutely nothing to sustain that. And but you know what? A whole lot of monies are being placed into these things where they have their inferior, their friends, families, and cronies and favorites who don't. Some of them don't know anything about construction, but
Contracts.
they
Yeah.
get big contracts. Some of them don't know anything. You see, Bamia, we got a
Yeah.
school at Bamia there. Up to now, we can't finish. They ain't got nowhere yet. They put up the posts and so on, and it's left right there. I'm wondering which contractor or contractors are going to be blackmailed for that there. We got Anai Secondary School.
Yeah, I
Send me the
noticed.
picture. Anai Secondary School. 3 months ago, shed broke down today.
Yeah.
3 months ago, it bill and look, it break down today. So all we are seeing here is bare, as the man on the streets would say, bare cock what we seeing. Bare cock what we seeing. Look, shed,
No,
shed.
it's all over the place. And that is part and parcel of their style. It is but a continuation of where they had left off in 2014, 2015, just before we won the elections. They were massively corrupt. Their entire economics was based on a 40%. Give the contractor, tell the contractor that it costs $100 million when it's only $50 million it costs. But out of 50 now, all right, we're going to arrange that you get it, and we will take that. So they got a big treasury chest there now, a big war chest. So when elections and so on come in Guyana, they will buy votes. But we got to let Guyanese know that that kind of politics is not going to be good for the next generation of Guyanese. And you got to get rid of these people. And even if they're owned now, like in Kanji and Albion, they're talking about them, expect. And we have to get massive unity too in the support basis of all the
Yep.
oppositions so that you could get these people out.
Yep. Yep.
You have to. You have to. Substandard works riven all over the place.
Well,
All over the place.
well, today again they selling at is where the selling collapsed today. We had a selling that collapsed today.
I didn't know about that one.
Yes, we got
That
one.
will come as a surprise. That's what they're
In
people selling.
Bartica selling collapsed today.
Oh my.
Bartica, the place where the PPP jump up and jump up about, it collapsed today. I mean, these people, I don't understand what is wrong with these people. Everything about them is failure. Every single thing about the PPP failing. Look, we just had the CXC results. Bad grades we got in maths.
That's the picture there?
Yes, that's the picture there.
Oh my.
That's the picture there. Bartica selling.
Well, those are not things that we should be celebrating, but the PPP's modus operandi will know that, emergency works and a massive contract, and give one of the friend or flatterer, whatever, and then he gets the contract and he can make it 2 years, it broke down again. And that is how they're minting money.
And we know that. We know that. The thing is, we have to highlight these things because who knows, maybe they set up some one of their friends to knock something there and make the whole thing collapse so that they can get new contracts. You see
That's
the
right.
school, you see all them schools were burning down?
Yeah.
You see all them schools are burning down and you can't get the reports. You can't get the reports what caused the fire, and no, they ain't got no CCTV cameras around to see who set the fire on the schools, but schools burning down mysteriously, and then you get big contracts to rebuild these schools. I mean, these people ain't got no more shame. Like I noticed one of our viewer would normally say, the PPP, they done shame out all their shame already, so they ain't got no more shame. They ain't got no more shame. I mean, when we look at what is happening in our schools, over the last 3 days, I've been visiting schools. Head teachers are complaining about the conditions of their schools. 3 schools in Georgetown, in one section of Georgetown. Monday morning, Tuesday morning, no water. They getting water in the schools. So what I had to do? I had to call the fire service to go and drop off water in the schools. No running water in the schools. Some pipe block off, somewhere something happened. And 2 months of holiday,
Yeah.
2 months.
Enough time.
I mean, what are these people doing? But Comrade, I want to thank you so much for being here with us on advancing the cause. We're going to continue to advance the cause because we want our people, our viewers must understand that we don't make these things up. These things are happening for real. Murders. When you have the murders, you got the traffic fatal accidents. When you have that, you got the corruption in all the high places. I mean, how much more we could take?
Well, the human being can take quite a lot, but when they start realizing that they ought not to take it, then the PPP they will pay a very big price for that. So
Well,
continue to advance the cause,
thank
Coretta.
you so much for
And
being here.
anytime you give me a call, I will be back. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here with us. Have a good night.
And thank you very much.
You're welcome. Right. So we're going to continue on advancing the cause. And you see there, I had my comrade Ramjatan talking about the PPP. And as a viewer said, the voodoo politics. It's just caving in on them and they're not realizing that. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to show some slides and we're going to open the phone lines so that we can take some calls. I think we just have a couple minutes, but we're going to take a couple of calls to hear what some of you are saying. I know we have some friends, and let me show them out while we're waiting for the calls to come through. We have some friends in French Guyana, and they've been watching us and they want us to send some shout out to them. So shout out to you, our friends right there in French Guyana. We have our friends, of course, in Paris who are watching us. We have friends in Turkey and friends in Switzerland, of course, North America, in the Caribbean, and we have our friends right here in Guyana. All across this country, persons are watching us. So the number to call is 651-3556. 651-3556, and you can call us on WhatsApp. So call us and let us know what's happening in your area. Tell us what is happening in your area with Monday, the reopening of school, what is happening there, or anything else that is happening in your area before we go off. But I can tell you, Guyana is in a bad shape. We are in a bad place. This is not oh beautiful Guyana. This is oh something else Guyana. I don't know what to term it, but this is not oh beautiful Guyana. And so while we're waiting on the calls from on the calls, I just want to extend to our Indigenous brothers and sisters, happy Heritage Month to you. And I noticed we got a presumptuous buy, very very presumptuous buy. I don't know. He got to go and do some confession, open confessions. He needs to do open confessions. I don't know where's our friend Ali, but you better ask him to do some confessions. Our friend, you got some confessions yourself to do, 19 fraud charges. Jagdio, you got a lot of confessions to do. You need to go and confess your sins. Failed the sugar estate, the sugar factory at Skeldon. Failed fiber optic. Even the marriage that you say you had failed. So let's take this caller. Good evening to you, caller. Good evening to you, caller. Just hold for me. I don't know if we have this mic on. Good evening to you, caller. You're here live. Just hold for me. Let me see if I can put you on speaker. I don't know how to put it. I'm not seeing that here. But just hold. Yes. Good evening to you, caller.
Yes, good evening, Madam McDonald. And how are you?
I am doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, but there have a lot of things that is bothering me in Guyana. First, I listened to the president one day. He was saying that the crime in Guyana is down. The only thing that go up a little bit, he says the murder, because of the murder in Madhya. So I want to know why he is classing Madhya tragedy as murder. I want to know why he's doing that. But that is one. Two, one time I listened to the bishop, and I heard the bishop saying that the roads in Guyana, they are built very thick. In Guyana, we normally do yard, feet, and inches. And the bishop, he was playing so smart that he said that the road in Guyana is 50 millimeters thick, because he know that we doing yard, feet, and inches. But I want everybody to know that 50 millimeters is just 5 centimeters. And 5 centimeters is equivalent to 2 inches. So we can imagine what he says. 2 inches thick is the road. If a truck that full with sand drive on that road, it will break it within 2 days.
Yes. And that's exactly what we've been having.
And next thing to we think that we are Dubai in the Caribbean. And last week, Monday, I was looking at in the ring with Sherrod, and Sherrod was showing some accident that occurred on the road where 8 people died during the weekend. Separate accident.
Separate accidents.
And when
8 persons in 5 hours.
Yes, when I saw the rescue team that go to an accident to rescue people, they go with a cutting machine, what the welder they normally use. We call it a cutting machine or a grinder. And cutting a car that is on the road, make accident where there's a lot of oil spilled on the road, gasoline is in the car, are you cutting that thing? That is very, very dangerous. I was looking to see when the car would blow up. If we are so advanced, we cannot cut a car with something like that make an accident on the road with oil. It is dangerous more than the accident.
They don't know better, and it's we the people who have got to educate them. And you know, we've got some good people in the Guyana Police Force, we've got some good officers there in the Guyana Fire Service all over, but the wickedness that is prevailing outshines them.
Well, I think we're supposed to get some good equipment that could we have to get things like cutting pliers that work in with air with a compressor to cut those steels. We have to get expansion things. You push it in between the car and you just expand the car to open it back and those things. You cannot cut a car that meet with accident with a cutting machine. The car could blow up with you. You who cutting it, your life is in danger.
It's in danger
Plus
too, yes.
Everybody that is around you is in danger.
Thank you so much, caller. And I'm hoping that Robeson Ben is listening to us, or somebody listening who can make the jottings and give them to him. You know, because we don't understand the kind of the lives of our people who go to rescue. Their lives are at risk too. So Robeson Ben, I hope you're listening. And if the bishop, I hope you're listening too. Because when you try to confuse us with all these numbers that you're giving us, people out there understand and they know that you're trying to cock us. They know that you're trying to cock us. So don't come with the nonsense. Build the roads properly.
Okay, have a good night.
You too, my dear. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I will stay listening. Okay, yes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was one of our friends there from French Guyana. That is a friend, that's a number that comes from French Guyana, but he resides here and he's back and forth and he's been observing quite a lot that is happening. Yes, so we are seeing these things happening daily. We're having these accidents. All right, let me take this call. Good night to you, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good night, Coretta.
Good night. Could you speak up a little for us?
Yes, I'm concerned. Good night. I'm concerned, Ms. McDonald. 2 months the Ministry of Education had. 2 months the Ministry of Education had. And now the community high school in Cottonfield, they have sessions to accommodate multilateral children and the community high school children. That is a shame.
At Cottonfield and the multilateral children. And they had 2 months. Yes, and these are the people who talk about how competent they are. 2 months they had. As a matter of fact, they had more than 2 months. And they knew exactly what they had to do. All these monies from the budgets, and they still can't fix it right. Priya Manik Chand, if you're not listening, I hope you have your folks there listening so that they can fix this. Fix it. It seems as if education is not priority for you people. We have another call on the line, I think. Caller, good night.
Hello, Coretta. Good night to you and my good friend and your panel there.
Yes.
Hello?
Comrade Ramjitan, he left already.
Oh, he's already?
Yes, he's out already, but thanks for calling.
All right, Coretta. Let me tell you what, okay? I'm not disputing a lot of things that you're saying there, okay? And there's a lot of truth of what you're saying. But that individual that you just had there, and I don't give a crap, that cockeyed snake lied so much.
Come on, sir. If you're going to call in, we expect you to be very respectful.
Yeah, but the lies on the nation just because you want to get back where y'all left off. Oh, come on, let us be real. I'm not saying the PPP is doing everything good, all right? I call a spade a spade. But when a man's going to lie 24/7 to you, right, what can you expect?
Caller, I'd be very happy if you can list those lies for me, because I can tell you, Jagdeo lied to this nation, to the entire world when he told us that he was married. Jagdeo continued to lie to all of us.
Hold a second right here. I'm not going to refute that or dispute what you're saying. It's the fact. All right? I can tell you, after the no confidence motion that the past, I was on the website, I was going to purchase a bus that morning. And that same individual that was on the program there with you, right? Like the resident outreach. And his words was when the COVID grants were given out, okay? He said he was on the west side and a guy they went in and they shared. They gave an Indian guy and they gave a black guy, okay? And the Indian guy said, no, we don't live so, and the man got to get something. Let me tell you what. There was like a flock of ducks walking, Joseph Harmon and that same individual and a host of other, and a set of cameramen. I look at this guy. Now, come on, this guy have a smartphone. If he could have bucket what he's saying, I think it tells the thousand story. Am I right or wrong, my dear?
You're correct.
God, why you cannot bring this and show the guy needs? I'm overseas based guy needs. I'm in Linden right now, and I'm sick to my teeth with the individual.
All right.
Anyway, hold on a sec. I would love to come in on your program and debate him. I ain't the PPP, I ain't the PNC, and hell sure, I ain't the BAFC or KFC.
All right. What I would want you to do is call me after the program so that we can arrange that for you. I would love to have you on the program too. I think his credit went. But you know, the thing is, all of us, we are all sinners. All of us are sinners. Let me take this other call. Good night to you. Good night, caller. You're on the air. All right, my dear. And how do you term Jagdeo and or Fanali and so on?
Yeah, he's a fucker dog. Let me just say anything.
All right, thanks, caller.
I'm free. You're taking time. A wolf.
Thank you, caller. Thanks for calling in. He's saying that they're all a pack of wolves and they're all a pack of dogs and everybody is something else. But thanks for calling the callers. You know, thanks for those calls that we're having, because people are voicing their displeasure in what has happened. And I'm not going to sit here to tell you that the coalition did everything right. But the thing is, the PDP were there for 23 years and they're here again, and we can't see what they have done except to say that they build tall buildings. Tall buildings is not progress. When your people starving, putting up a roundabout here or a roundabout there does not progress. You have to invest in your people. When your people can live comfortable, that's what you call progress. Because when they are comfortable, then they are going to go to work on time. They're going to when they're at work, they're going to ensure that they complete their task. You're not going to have the long lines that we have at Parliament building. So when you call, callers, I would be happy if you can call and comment, not to comment on individuals, but for you to comment on the program, on what we discuss. Sugar ain't sweet anymore. And to comment on the disrespect that is being meted out to Guyanese across this nation, the working force. And it's sad when we have trade unionists who are parliamentarians and trade unionists who are close to the PPP, and they're allowing the PPP to disrespect and disregard, show total disregard for the workers who paying them their dues. It's a disgrace, and those people should be asked to resign. I'm not sure if we have any more callers, but what we're going to do is, operator, I don't know, I think we have maybe 2 or 3 other slides to show before we go off. I know Sherrod is going to be on, but I want to say to you folks, the PPP are no good for Guyana. They are no good for Guyana. All you look, every time we have the PPP, we got foolishness happening. And so you see this worthless boy here, this worthless boy who's still presumptuous and decide he's going to paint up his face for Amerindian Heritage Month. Boy, them children, the 20 lives that were lost, they're on your shoulder. The cries of many, many mothers are on your shoulder. And try, you see the pageant, I hope those contestants are held very, very far away from him. Pageant coordinators, whoever y'all be, keep those people's children, daughters away from that guy who you see paint up his face. I think it was yesterday, we got the information about this young lady who was burnt. I think her body was burnt. They found her under the house. What is really happening in this country? The other day we had the chopping to death of an 8-year-old and his mother. Now we find this woman's torso. We're going to take one last caller before we go out. One last call. I think they're gone. Yes, we got to do something about this. This country, something seemed to be going wrong in this country. Too much blood. Too much blood. Too many lives are being lost. Something is wrong. Look, let me encourage our pastors, our pandits, and our majis to call your people in, and let's have some prayers for this country. Let's have some prayers for this country. Something ain't going right. We'll take this last call. I don't know what is happening when the call coming through. Something is happening. I don't know. Anyhow, viewers, it's always a privilege to be here with you, and I'm very passionate about the things that I do. And so sometimes you would see that expression on my face because lives are being lost senselessly. The government is incompetent and they cannot do things that they ought to do. Imagine we had 2 months. There was 2 months while the children were off of school. And yet schools are not ready. And some schools, the teachers are asked to go into schools when construction work is being done. That can't be right. Fix it. Outside of that, I recognize that callers, viewers are calling in to say, there are transfers here and transfers there, and they're highlighting persons who are being targeted in some of the ministries. Well, we know the PPP. They are a bunch of oppressive people who always seek to target people who stand up to them and who don't go with them and the policies that they want to employ. And then I saw my good friend, what's his name? Kevon Lorimore. Kevon, I want you to know, what you did there is fraud. You got monies as a school grant. You got a school grant. And if you don't understand what a school grant means, it means to purchase items for school. So what you did there was converting monies from one thing, for the purpose of one thing. That's fraudulent conversion, and you could be charged for it. So don't hype up yourself on Facebook. Don't hype up yourself. Yes, we're happy that you're training your children to be young entrepreneurs and successful businessmen. Early you're training them. But don't hype up yourself with wrong things. Don't hype up yourself. And I'm hoping that GRA, somebody send that to GRA, and GRA could ask you to pay the taxes. I hope somebody would send it to GRA. So when you don't know, ignorance, they said, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance, and that's where you just try there. Don't hype up yourself with nonsense. And on that note, I want to say to all of us, Guyana is we own. Just the same way we tell Venezuela that Guyana is we own, we must tell Barajagdio and Irfan Ali and Priya Manikchan and the whole pack of them who feel that they got the transport for Guyana. We must tell them that Guyana belongs to every single one of us, whether you're a teacher or a sugarcane harvester, or you're in the public service as a nurse, or you're in the armed forces. We must let them know that we all are bona fide citizens for this country. Imagine those sugar workers, 21 days they've been out of work. We finding money. Of course, it's a good gesture. We finding monies to get food and all kind of things to fly into the hinterland to give the refugees, the Venezuelans there. But we can't find a package to give to our brothers who are in the sugar field, who are cane harvesters. And because they talk for their rights, you lock them up and you put on chains and so on their hands, and you shackle their feet as if they're criminals. These things, let me say to you, PPP, it will come back to haunt you. Don't worry, time drawing near. And as old people would say, time longer than twine. Your time is drawing near, and the Guyanese people will mark you when the time comes for them to mark you. On that note, let me say to you, be good Guyanese citizens. Again, Bishop, we getting too many blackouts. We far from Christmas. Too much blackouts. We far from Christmas. Where is Indar? Indar? Too much, man. We can't take this blackout. Too many hours of blackout, and when you're not getting the too many hours, it's on and off as if it's fairy lights. Y'all fix it. Don't come and dress up in parliament like you are Lord Jesus. Fix the business. The people in this country have a right to enjoy a proper flow of electricity. And the hurtful part about it is that when it's on and off and they blow one of your equipment in your home, when you go to the offices and the GPL offices, they're asking you for receipts. If you buy a refrigerator 5 years ago, why are you keeping that receipt? You buy a microwave some 6 months ago, why are you keeping that receipt? It's your money you use to spend it. You don't have to submit it anywhere for any auditing. You're asking for receipts and receipts. And if people can't produce receipts, then you can't process their complaints. What nonsense y'all doing? In Darren Edgell, we're still waiting for those roads by the boulevard there to be fixed. All those little cross streets, we're still waiting for you to fix them. Go and fix it. Don't wait for elections to come for you to run out there. And the people waiting on you, the people are waiting on you because they know you will come around elections time. Fix it. Colin Kroll and Susan, them dirty water that we get in, don't let me go play the dirty song for you. Them dirty water that we get in, them brown water that we get in, y'all fix it right. Under the coalition, people had running water, clear, clean water. Not the nonsense you're giving us now. Well, education, we can talk about that again and next time. You see the drop that we had in the math results at CSEC? Under the coalition, thanks to the coalition, the math results went up, but here again it's going down, and it's gonna fall just now again. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I know you can't fix it. To our teachers who have been working so hard, I know you'll start writing on the walls for them just now. Because up to now, they can't get your business right. Your debunching and your housing revolving project and everything else, they can't get it right in your salary increases, but let them hold on. Let them hold on. Nurses, we know that you're leaving in drones, but we can tackle this business together. And to all of our public servants, we feel the squeeze. We understand what you have to go through. You know, today I went to the market. I went to the market today, and I wanted to buy a dragon fruit. You know what the man said to me? $2,000 for dragon fruit. I don't know how many of you know the dragon fruit. $2,000 for one. I passed to buy coconut water, like I would normally do. $1,400 for a bottle of coconut water this size. I think that is the 2 pints or a little more than the 2 pints bottle. $1,400 for coconut water, and coconut, we got coconut growing right here. A little bottle, so $800. A little bottle like a Coke, a 1 liter Coke bottle or something like that, $800. And y'all saying things nice in this country? Where it nice. You see them broke up furniture that y'all got them teachers sitting on, and the students and them learners and them pupils sitting on. Priya, you better fix it right. I noticed Fernali, and of course he has a right to want to send his child to whether private or public schools. But if you're president and you're pumping so much monies into education and you're not sending your child to the public school, then it means that you are convinced that the public schools isn't making it. That's all I have to say to you for tonight. We can talk more next week. If your child can't go to the public schools that you're promoting and spending a whole lot of monies in, then it says a whole lot. Where Jagyo there? I guess he hiding right now. But you're going to pay another $20 million and more. You're going to pay that $20 million and more. You're running, ducking all over the place. You're going to pay that money. You got a lot of confessions to do. Viewers, it's nice to have you here. And we're going to talk some more next week on another episode, when we have another episode of Advancing the Cause. Do stay good. Take good care. Be careful on the road when you have to traverse the road. Be careful with your water. Continue to throw, whether it's a chlorine tablet or some Marfex bleach in your water. Continue to clear around your gutters and your drains and so on. Continue to clear them and throw stuff there so that the water would not allow for mosquito to breed and so on. Continue to keep your surroundings clean, because we can't wait on the PPP government to do it for us. If you wait on them, you'll die. If you only wait on them, you're going to die. So take care. Remember, one people, one nation, one destiny. I love you. Bye-bye.